If we add 5 plus 5 plus 5, we of course get the answer 15. But in order to do that, we have to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols. In math, we want to make sure that our problems are written as efficiently as possible, with as few symbols as necessary. And so we can make this problem much shorter by turning it into multiplication. We write down the number 5 3 times, and we can turn that into 5 times 3. These are the same problem, but the multiplication version is much shorter and much more efficient. It only requires 4 symbols. This becomes even more obvious when we have a longer problem, like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 symbols. But if we instead count the number of times that we've written down the number 2 and shorten it to a multiplication problem, we only need 4 symbols to get the answer 10. Multiplication is repeated addition. We take a number and add it a certain number of times. In this case, we've written down the number 4 5 times, and that turns into 4 times 5, which is, of course, 20. What if we instead did repeated multiplication? 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. But we run into the same problem. This requires us to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols. There's got to be a more efficient way. Similar to how we turned repeated addition into multiplication, we can count the number of times that we've written down the number 5, in this case we've written it down 3 times, and create a shorter problem. This is called an exponent. Notice that the number we are multiplying is the big number, and then up on the shoulder to the right, written smaller, is how many times we're going to multiply. This would be read as 5 to the third power, or 5 to the third. These are the same problem and give us the same answer, 125. Let's look at another example. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So we're going to write down the number 2 5 times, and that gives us the answer 32. How do we simplify this into an exponent? We write the number 2 as our big number, our base, and then up on the right-hand shoulder, slightly smaller, we write how many times we're going to multiply the number 2. In this case, 5. 2 to the 5th power is 32. Just like multiplication is repeated addition, exponents are repeated multiplication. If instead of writing 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which requires 11 symbols, we can simplify the problem down to just 3 symbols by counting how many times we want to multiply the number 4 and making that our exponent. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is the same as 4 to the 5th power, which is 1024. Let's look at one more example. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. How many times did we write down the number 3? We wrote it down 4 times, which means we can turn this into 3 to the 4th power. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. In the homework folder of your OneNote, you will see a short homework assignment called 12th of October Intro to Exponents. Please have that completed by our class tomorrow morning. Have a great day.